address is on the screen right now.
That's it. Or they can call my home, my office, study,
Okay.
and I'll be glad to get back in touch with them or whatever.
Good. Yes, phone number's there too.
Wonderful.
Oh, great, great. That's wonderful. That's wonderful. Yes. How long have you been in the ministry?
63 years.
63. Wow.
Yep.
That's,
I don't look at 63 years old, but I am.
Of course not.
I've been at 63. I was thinking you and I, we have a total of about 126 years ministry.
hey, that's longer than Moses lived in the... Oh,
Isn't that honor, though? Isn't it an honor that two of us could say over a century of ministry?
yes.
I'm thankful I met you.
Yes, I'm so glad I could meet you too. You know, God called you to do with your life. When did you know for sure that you were called? For sure. Into this kind
For
of
sure, I knew it when I was baptized, trying to baptize that goat.
Yeah.
Then if you read in there where I preached to my little dog on the back porch.
But you kept on playing ball.
Kept on playing ball, kept on resisting what I knew that was called on my life.
Yeah.
And then when I came to that place, I surrendered everything. I'd seen, as you have seen, so many people go in and come out, you know, in the church and get in and get out. I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to bring an embarrassment on. I knew that much about the Lord. I didn't know him personally, but I knew enough about him that I didn't want to say I start and then I'm going to get out and then go back in. When I came into the battle, I came to go. And 3 weeks after I was saved, I preached for my dad the first time.
3 weeks?
About 3 weeks. No no hermeneutics or anything from the college. I know a little Greek now, a little Hebrew, but then I didn't know anything too much about the scripture except what I'd learned. But I knew that my dad asked me to come preach for him. I'd played professional baseball in the town where my dad was on radio. Therefore, he wanted 3 weeks so he could tell folks that Jack's going to be preaching. And went there on that Sunday morning, and the church was completely packed, standing around the walls, and I got up. I had an hour and a half prepared to preach. And I wound out in 15 minutes, started boo-hooing, crying. And God just moved on the service. And I think in that particular service, 13 people came to know the Lord.
13 people.
13 folk. Yeah, I can
First
remember
sermon.
that. First sermon. I remember that very, very well. Yeah.
That's powerful.
And I preached 1,300 times and nobody came.
I understand that. I've been there. Oh, yes.
No,
Praise
the Lord's honored my ministry. I appreciate what he's done for me.
What, something in particular in the book that might captivate and teach our audience something?
My lifetime verse, Bill, I'll share.
Okay.
Jeremiah 33:3.
Okay.
Every letter I write, any correspondence I do, I put Jeremiah 33:3. You never know who's going to be reading that. Call unto me, and I will answer thee, and show thee great and mighty things which thou knowest not. That has been my lifetime verse. I've called on him a lot of times when I didn't know the way out, but God's always been faithful.
Yes.
Call unto me, and I will answer thee, and show thee great and mighty things which thou knowest not. Someone may be looking at us tonight. They're wondering, how can I get out of this? Jeremiah 33:3 is a good answer to that maybe problem, or maybe a decision that someone might be wanting to make. It's a and I've used it over the years.
You made reference in your book to the most miserable time in your life. You want to share a little bit of that?
I don't like to talk too much about it, but I did share that because
Yeah.
I know that people do. As I said, I was raised on the Mill Village. My dad was a pastor at First Baptist Church there. And I was 16 years old at the time. I was playing baseball with the Mill Village team. We moved out of that community to my daddy's next pastorate. And I didn't like where we went. I didn't like the church. I didn't like the people in the church. I really was lost without my good friends I grew up with. And it was a miserable time. I played hooky from school. My grandchildren, I hope, is already in the bed. But, you know, back then you played hooky from school, and I got caught. My dad, I was 16, and he put the
He did the fatherly thing.
He did put the Board of Education to the seat of knowledge.
Okay.
And so that brought me to remember what he had told me. So, and that was a miserable time. And I pastored in Simpsonville 21 years. One church. My boys grew up. They were born before then, and when they grew up, they finished Hillcrest High School, all three of them. And I had the opportunity to go, and I asked the Lord, don't let me go until I get my boys through high school. And then one was going to Anderson College, one was going to Medical College in Charleston, the other was going to Central Westland College, and my wife and I was going to the poorhouse. With all three in college. You know something about that,
Yeah.
the cost.
Yeah. I had 3 boys and then a girl.
I didn't have a girl, I have some granddaughters, but no sons.
Yeah. What do you hope that the readers are going to get from, what are they going to gain from that?
They're going to gain from this book, they're going to gain someone with nothing, who had nothing, knew nothing, and surrendered his life to the Lord. And God is not boasting, bragging. I did a recording, Otis Foster remembers, in 1972, the drama of the Rapture. You may have remembered that. It went around the world.
Yep.
Had thousands of folks saved from it. And it's still people are asking for it even today, the Rapture.
Right.
It's a drama, not a sermon, not music. It's 66 people. It cost me $24,000 to get it produced. But what I'd like for people to get out of this is there's nothing too hard for the Lord.
Nothing, absolutely.
Nothing too hard for the Lord. And if he can take someone like me, that was limited with a lot of things. I was an introvert. Wasn't able to carry on a good conversation with you hardly.
I can relate to that.
But God helped me to get over that, and now I think I talk too much, but I enjoy letting people know. And for anyone that's discouraged, I believe this book will encourage them. And if they're not used to reading, I believe they'll read. Like a lot of folks said, I started it, I couldn't put it down. And only the Lord could cause that to happen.
Yes, that is fantastic. That's wonderful, wonderful. You know, Dr. Jack, you've done, I'm sure, many, many things since being in the ministry. Some of those things that you could share with us tonight. Yes.
Well, I came to, let me give you what happened in a long ministry. I was in school in Chattanooga. I attended Tennessee Temple University. And I came to Simpsonville to pastor Grace Baptist Church, 1959. I was there for about 2 months, and I was going to have a revival in the church. And I was trying to find out what I could do to get people to come to hear the message. And